Action.
Hi, this is Mr. Sloan. It's a beautiful day. It's actually Thursday before school starts. And so I'm getting ahead of some of these videos so that we can have them filmed. We'll be talking more about them in class and the object and how you write your lab report up and the research. So today I'm just going to kind of show you some how-tos on your lab pack. And it looks like most of you got your lab pack, or a lot of you did a good job and picked it up. So it had your name on it and stuff. If you didn't get it, it's still at school. You got 2 bags of dirt with it. This is mixed soil medium. It's got peat moss in it, potting soil, bark, just kind of a general mixture. So you got that. You got 6 of these dividable trays. 6 of these. So got those. You've got 2 sets of beans. Now 1 bean is in a foil pack, and that's they're all the same year, 2020. That experiment, you're going to be able to decide what you want to do with that. We won't talk about this one right now. What we do have is you've got 3 sacks of beans, and they may look a little different. That's okay, because we only had so many old beans. You have a sack that says, this one says 2020, this one says 2018, and this one says 2019. So you're probably thinking, wow, those are different years of beans. And you're right, because beans get old as they sit there. It's called respiration. As those beans sit there, they have an embryo. That embryo is alive, and it uses the material, the sugars and carbohydrates, to stay alive. So the longer the bean seed is alive, the lower the viability, or its ability to grow and sprout. So right now I'm going to show you how to set these up. What you'll do then is, that's why you have, well, you'll see here, you've got, we're going to use 3 of these 3. And I'm sure a lot of you are already thinking ahead. I'm already knowing what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill them up with dirt. Yes, we are. Now, here's the other thing. It isn't on there yet, but it will be somehow. And you can always look this up.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for my label.
Oh.
The tape's right there.
No, well, actually, the bean directions. I just wanted to find. I had that here. Did it win my? See, this is the problem. Things happen. And I'm not going to reshoot, so it looks like we spilled a little dirt. Did the wind blow that away? You don't see a seed pack?
Is it over there?
Stop that.
We'll pause. Resuming.
So this is the bean label. These are what the beans came in. And we're taking a photograph of this, and it'll be on canvas on a PFD or something, whatever you call them. But you can look this up on the internet. You just look up garden beans, and it tells you lots of good information. It tells you how deep to seed them. That means how much dirt do you cover with them. It tells you how long they take to grow. It tells you where you can grow them. It tells you how close the rows need to be. Now we're just doing an experiment, so the thing that's important is the planting depth. So we'll do the planting depth. But there's other information which you'll want to include on your lab report. So I am going to fill in, and I don't know if I will go ahead and just do it on the camera, but boy, heck of a rock. I don't want to plant that rock. Somehow it got in that package. What I'm going to do is fill these up most of the way. Actually, I'm going to fill them up an inch from the top. And an inch is about this much. Your finger digit. You can look and see if you have a ruler. You're going to need rulers for this lab, because we're going to do this lab together. I'm going to show you my results as you have them, and etc. Like a little too much dirt. I want about an inch from the top because these bean seeds, the standard depth is an inch. Now, one thing I haven't done yet is I haven't labeled them. I want to make sure I label each one of these by year. So I'm going to take some masking tape. Now, you didn't get tape. I kind of hope you got tape at home or something that you can use. I kind of assume most of you do. Here's the other problem. This tape's been sitting in the greenhouse all summer, and tape does not work well after a couple months. I don't know if you knew that or not. Oh man, this is not gonna...
They could just use a piece of paper and a pen.
Yeah. So anyway, you have to label each one of these, and I need to I'm going to label them because I need to be able to show them to you. So I'll worry about the tape later. So try that one, see if that one's gonna. So now I'm gonna firm down the soil just a little bit with my fingers. I'm just firming it down just a little bit. Still have a little bit because I want to be an inch from the top. Still a little bit high. Now, obviously, to do this is, I'm trying to give stuff for you guys to do outside. Don't do this in your living room on the couch. Your mom won't like it. So, yeah, Benny says, yeah, don't do it on the couch. Didn't you say that, Ben? So, oh, does that work? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. These tapes, and they sit out in the sun. This one's working pretty good. Thank you, Kaylin. So, anyway, take this, and of course, I'll screw this up too, because I'm not a kid. You guys won't screw this up. See, I almost screwed the whole thing up. Anyway, I'm going to put it here. And, I'm just going to label it and take a Sharpie. You can, you're at home. You don't have to put your names on them and stuff. In the greenhouse, we have to put our names on them, and oh my gosh. Anyway, these are going to be 2020.
1 minute, Mom.
So these are seeds 2020. So I'm keeping track. I'm starting with those, keeping them labeled. Then I'm going to plant this whole container. Now, I hope I have enough seeds. We count off a lot of seeds. If you don't have them all, just plant what you have. Okay, I'm not going to get you one extra seed. The other thing, we're using beans for a reason. They're big. They're easy to plant and easy to seed. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What'd you say? You said plant the beans? Okay, Benny says plant the beans. Now, if they happen to break, just put them in there, just hope for the best. Anyway, I'm starting out with 6 because we're going to do some math. And we got to know how many germinate, our percentages. Anyway, there we go. I'm going to firm them down a little bit. I'm going to cover them with an inch of dirt. Once again, these are our 2020s. Don't do this inside on the couch or the table, living room, dining room table. Do this in the great outdoors. I suppose you could do it in the garage. Boy, I think we gave him plenty of dirt. I think that, anyway, better too much. There we go. There's my 2020 plant. Okay? There we go. Now, I'm going to do, and I'm not going to show you because you've already seen it. I'm going to do the 2018s and the 2019s. I'm going to make sure I label them. Every single one of them is going to have a label because you don't want to confuse them at all. So make sure you got your tape on them and make sure they're labeled. Okay, we'll come back when I have all the beans ready, so you can stop.
Go.
So, we're back on the Aged Bean Lab. I've planted all my beans. I've planted, and they're kind of they're in order, the 18s, 19s, and 20s. They're planted in the same size container. They're planted with the same dirt. They're planted at the same depth. Those are all called controlled variables. This lab has one manipulated variable. It's the age of the beans. That's what we're testing. We're testing to see if age makes a difference in bean survivability and viability. That means, do the beans come up and grow? So, watering then. Now, where are we going to put these? You do need to keep them. It's still warm this time of year, and that's why you have the lab right now. You need to put them hopefully outside in the sun against a south or a west wall, someplace that's pretty warm during the day. Don't let them dry out, and you need to keep watering them. How much do you water them? Well, I've got a handy dandy water jug. One thing I'm not going to do is pour water in them so hard that all the dirt washes away. I'm just going to gradually get them. It takes a while because of adhesion and cohesion things. I'm going to start watering them. I'm going to let this soak in. Anyway, this is going to take, I'm not going to film all this because I'm going to have to let it sit for a minute or two, put a little more water, let it sit for a minute or two, more water. So that's what you're going to do. And then you're going to put them somewhere where it is all the same, right next to each other. You want it to be warm, and if it rains, you don't want them to get wet, warm and dry, like on your back porch or front porch if it's sunny, or underneath something, an eave, where it's protected, but it's warm and sunny. Okay, so that's what you want to do with these. We want to get them up. In fact, well, I'll probably release this video pretty quick so people can get started on this, because the sooner the better, to make sure, because we'll run out of temperature. You know, it will turn into fall. Right now it's still summer. What do you think, men? They okay? He thinks they're okay. All right, that's the Age Bean Lab. We'll be checking in on how to take care of them and when to water them. Thanks.